Well, good afternoon, or good morning maybe to some, but I just got called in here for a service call. This board is no longer responding. All the lights appear to be okay. We even have blinking lights, but none of the doors work. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap it out for a brand new board, and I will show you step by step on the correct process to do that. So for starters, you want to go ahead and power this down. So I got three tools right here. You got your scissors, you got your flathead screwdriver, and you got your Phillips. So we'll take the flathead, and this is your power right there. So you just want to, if you look over here, there's like a little ledge here. Trying to videotape and also get in here properly is a little tricky, so I do apologize. Alright, so we got all the lights that went out. So the next step, what you want to do is go ahead and pull out your memory, or I'm sorry, your LAN network connection, which in this case doesn't have a screw. Yours probably should have had a screw. So just disconnect that. Alright. The next thing you want to do is get your new board, and you want to make sure you set your address and all your memory settings the exact same way on your new board. So in this case, on is at the bottom, off is at top. And if you use your little screwdriver here, it'll click. So you just want to make sure you mirror all these settings to your other one. This will be your speed and all your addresses for the board itself. Then you want to make sure you got your module put in on your new board. And after that, you just start pulling out all these plugs. So this panel was done very well. It's very well organized. So I think what we'll be able to do is just kind of start maybe from up here. Pop this side out, and then you can stick your finger here and kind of just squeeze it out. A little easier with two hands, so you guys should have no problem doing this. But there you go, and then just pretty much continue down the line until you got all of them pulled out. And as you can see, it's not that difficult, but you know, you need little fingers for this. Another thing that I've noticed is people will stick their screwdrivers in between here and kind of pry it out. It works, but again, you be gentle. Go all the way around. Don't just jam it in there and expect to make it come out, because you'll actually bend the pins. So I always start at least first in between the connectors, and then if I can't get it, which usually you can, then I'll go back in here just the tip and just kind of try to grab it a little bit, and then come back down here again, finish it up. Alright, and with the magic of technology, we are all disconnected, we're powered off. And one thing I did forget to mention, but I've already done this on my end, was before I unplugged this, I actually went and found these 4 doors. I wrote them down. I tested them with my badge just to confirm which doors they are, because once you power down and you power back up, you want to be able to find those same 4 doors. So, or I'm sorry, 8 doors. So if you got a building of 50 or 500 doors, you want to make sure you know which doors you just killed. So you got to go test those 8 doors. So the next step would be to take all these screws out, and there's a bunch of them. They're kind of scattered throughout, all the way around, a couple in the middle here. This one you leave. This actually connects the panel to the board. So if you take this screw out, it would actually expose all the electronics. So that one stays, but everything else you just remove it with a screwdriver. So once again, I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, but you kind of get the idea. And you just kind of move right along. So we'll be right back. Alright, so we got all the screws off. The last one came off and the board just shifted. So you just kind of loosen it up from all those pieces there. And I did forget to mention, but I already checked it out, but this module right here, this makes it so that you can use your weekend settings. So what you want to do is, when you take your old out, you want to go look at your, let's just set these side by side here. So we'll grab our screwdriver, and first we'll go here and we'll verify the positions here. This is the original and this is the new. So the dip switches are a little bit different, but the same idea applies. So we got the off and on, and then we get the off and on. So in this sense, we'll just start out here. So off, off, sorry, here we go. Off, 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 on, off, on. So it is off, 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 on, off, on. So just like that, and then we'll come back over here and check this one out. So we got off, off, on, and the rest are all off. So we just got the third one over. So we go 1, 2, 3, flip this switch on, and that will be it. Now the next step will be to take this module and move it over here. In our case, we purchased it originally, so there's the model number for an 8 door controller, which is 8 here. So there's a little pin here that's missing. That's intentional, it's not broken. And then there's a pin that's actually closed up. So it'll only go one way. You just kind of line it up and push it in. And that's it. So it clicked and it stays in place. Now the next step, most important part, people forget this, is you want to switch these to weekend. All of them. Now it depends on what kind of badge readers you're using. We're using HIDs, and they are all weekends. So if you have this module, you have to switch this over. If you don't have this module, don't switch it over. It's going to use the 20 milliamp. So that's basically it. So we'll take the new and do everything basically in reverse order. I will definitely need my second hand for this to get all these wires kind of moved out and out of the way. And I'm actually finding this could have been the problem right there. So the original board looks like maybe the lock got fried. So something here might have got fried, which shorted something else, but that should be fine. We do have new connectors if we need to, but I did remove all these connectors. That way it's a easier swap. So I'll go ahead and put these back in, kind of get it back in there. We'll put the screws in and we'll put all the connectors in, and then we'll come right back to the video. Alright, so we got all the screws put in. Next step would be to apply power. So we will take our original power, plug it in, and we see lights are coming on. The next step is to plug in your network module. So just line up the pins, and lights come on there as well. So right now your board is actually going to start downloading all the information from your computer to the new board, and now you can just go ahead and start populating all the pins, because it'll take, I don't know, 10, 15, 30 minutes depending on how many card holders and how much stuff you got going on the server side. But you just kind of work your way around. This wire is just a little tight, but it'll work. We only needed one of those, but if you didn't already know, these connectors just kind of slide on. So you pop this one in. Well, I guess you gotta do it. See if I can do it with one hand. There we go. So another thing people do is people actually mark on the sides or on the face, or they'll put like tape, that we know exactly what door it is. But these wires here, they were very well organized, that they kind of stayed in place. So we know that this is going to be 5, it's not going to fit over here. Whatever you guys prefer. So these pins we weren't using, so I just threw them down here, but you basically just populate them. We are almost done. Alright, so by now you have your module put in, everything is set to weekend, everything's populated, your data is sending and receiving, or at least it should be. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, I see lights blinking, so it's definitely learning, sending all the data down here. So within, let's say 15 minutes, you can actually go out and start swiping your badges at these doors, and they should work as before. And by the looks of it, I think we should be good. I'll wait a few minutes and I'll go out and test one badge just to see where we're at, and keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so here's a badge reader, and problem solved. So that's how you replace the door controller. If you guys have any more questions, just let me know. Hope this helps somebody.